Hello and welcome to the King Street Cinema podcast. My name's Andy. I'm a podcaster from Beyond Graves and Stars and several other podcasts, movie fan and regular visitor to Ipswich's King Street Cinema. Normally on this podcast I'm joined by the cinema's very own James Rowe, but he can't make this month. He's really busy. Things should be back to normal next month. So I'm just going to put out a little mini episode really where I'm going to talk about one of the movies I've seen that will be on towards the end of the month very briefly, but I'm going to be joined in a second by film scholar and friend of the podcast and also a regular visitor to the cinema, Adam Whybray, who is a massive fan of Twin Peaks. Now, on Saturday the 13th of this month, September, and at King Street, they'll be showing the whole of season 1 of Twin Peaks. Now, this is really special. I'm really excited about this. Something I never thought I'd see on the big screen. They're going to be showing all 8 episodes over, I think it's probably with breaks about 8 hours, starting from 2 p.m. The coffee shop will be open, the bar will be open, the whole thing is very reasonably priced. Check out the website, there's still some tickets left, but they are going quite quickly. If it's anything like the 50th anniversary of Jaws, I'd say get your tickets as soon as possible. I've got mine. I'll be in row E, so come and say hello if you recognise my voice. But yeah, so Adam is going to have a chat with me now about that. And this is the conversation we had. Adam, thanks for joining me. It's been a while since you've been on the podcast.
That's true.
I can't even remember what you spoke. It was an early episode. You just spoke about your memories of the cinema, didn't you?
That's definitely something I did. I remember doing that. So yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Thank
you. On Saturday the 13th at King Street, there'll be a special afternoon evening of the whole first series of Twin Peaks. Now, I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
So just tell us about Twin Peaks if you can.
My gosh. Well, okay, so basically, if you're a fan of any prestige television, so if you like Mad Men or Breaking Bad or The Wire or especially True Detective, and you haven't seen Twin Peaks, then you really owe it to yourself to watch the first season of Twin Peaks, because it basically draws from what was going on in TV at the time. So this is end of the 80s, early 90s, right? And you've got daytime and nighttime soaps, right? You've got television budgets. You have a lot of disposable, sort of throwaway television. And Twin Peaks kind of comes in. It's the first episode is co-created by David Lynch. So Lynch had already done Blue Velvet, right? He was a recognised art house director at this point, and he co-created it with Mark Frost, who done NYPD Blues.
Oh yes, yeah.
So he'd already done like cop show television, and so you have Frost bring the crime procedural elements, Lynch bringing the kind of pop surrealism. Lynch obviously takes a lot of ideas, or died last year, a lot of ideas from dreams and meditation, and so you have Lynch's intuitive approach to creating a story, and Frost's far more procedural approach, and they kind of combine brilliantly in this show that in some ways is about the mystery of who killed Laura Palmer, this teenage girl whose corpse washes ashore by the bank of the local sawmill, wrapped in plastic. And partly it's about who killed her and the mystery of what was going on in her life and the people surrounding her and the kind of networks of intrigue. But it's also very vibes based. It's about the woods in Washington State. The smell of the Douglas fir trees, and the kind of intrigue of. I think there's a character in Twin Peaks who says that it's like a kind of beautiful dream and a nightmare all at once. And that's very much the atmosphere of Twin Peaks, that it's got this sort of dreamy, seductive feel to it. But also it's very dark. And it can shift from real horror. And there's some very scary moments in Twin Peaks. If you're a horror fan, I think it's also worth watching Twin Peaks. There's some frightening moments, but then some also really silly, kind of goofy, fun moments. And I think I really like the way that it kind of goes from one to the other.
That's the thing. When two things I love is comedy and horror.
Yeah.
And I think that the comedies what actually drew me into Twin Peaks, and then the first series, it takes a while before you see the horror side, and I think that's when it works best, is when there's that underlining bit of horror. Apart from, of course, when they done the film afterwards, which is a horror film.
Oh yeah, I mean the prequel Fire Walk with Me is intense. I watched it at the cinema a year ago, and yeah, it's a heavy experience. But I think the first season isn't. There are heavy themes, but actually it's also just really watchable. It's very much television, but it's television, on that higher budget. It's television that looks and is directed like cinema.
Yeah, and that's the thing which made it stand out at the time.
Yeah.
And that nowadays, the production on TV shows is almost up to the standard of film.
Well, sometimes exceeds, realistically.
With more money, with different streaming services and stuff. But one thing I'm really looking forward to, yes, this was made for TV, but it's got that cinematic feel, and I never thought I'd see Twin Peaks in the cinema.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to look gorgeous. I say the setting of it, you've got this sort of northwestern setting. It's just on the border, on the Canadian border, and so you have this incredible waterfall. You've got these beautiful pine trees. And it's got a great cast as well. So it has people who were already established from film. Peggy Lipton is in it. Richard Beymer from and Ross Tamblyn from West Side Story.
Oh, yeah.
From there's a musical background.
Yeah.
And then a younger cast as well. So you've got some seasoned professionals alongside this sort of up-and-coming actors.
And of course, Carl McLachlan, who worked with Lynch at least twice before.
And he'd already been in Dune, which was his first film, and then Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
And Carl McLachlan plays Agent Dale Cooper, who's this sort of weirdly wholesome special FBI agent.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a Lynch stand-in. Like, he's always talking about, the smell of the Douglas firs and the taste of the cherry pie.
Yeah.
And in the way that Lynch, for anyone who sort of followed him online or has seen interviews with him, really liked, slowing down and enjoying the small stuff, like a damn fine cup of coffee. Cooper's very much like that. He sort of talks about how every day you should give yourself a gift. Yeah. And he's an unusual character for a detective. Like, he's quite wholesome.
Yeah, I think that's the character most people related to or like.
Yeah, well, he's kooky, but he's not sort of aggressively weird. And McLachlan is just a very likable performer.
Yeah, and it's a unique character.
Yeah.
And I'm so looking forward to seeing it again. When did you first watch it? Because you were too young to have seen it when it was first.
Yeah. My parents first watched it when it was out, they said. But no, I first saw it in sixth form, I think, when I was getting into David Lynch. Because I watched Mulholland Drive. Basically on release, or when it came out on video. So I was 14. So I remember it was 15 rated, but I watched it with my parents. It's a bit of a funny one to watch for your parents. Mulholland Drive.
It freaked my parents just didn't get it.
But I was so like, I hadn't seen anything like it before, and I was so taken with it. This must have, then over the next few years, as I got into GCSE and then sixth form, I was just like trying to watch any Lynch I could. So I got Eraserhead on video, and watched Blue Velvet. So it would have been around the end of sixth form, and then it was quite hard back in the day to get hold of season 2. Like, you can get season 1 on DVD in this country, but not season 2. So it took me a while after season 1 to get hold of season 2. But sometime in uni, I watched them with my housemate at the time, Catherine, and then I loved The Return. The kind of revived season 3 really, that came out about 2017, I think.
Yeah, it feels more recent than that to me, but it's
Yeah.
like 8 years ago now.
Which I thought was remarkable when Lynch got to kind of direct every episode, and Mark Frost and Lynch wrote all of it. And I thought that was absolutely incredible, like a real experience.
Because Lynch left before the end of season 2.
Yes, and he comes back for the last episode of season 2. But
the first series is very Lynch.
Oh yeah, the first season is much more involved. And I will say, you don't find out who killed Laura Palmer in season 1. So if you don't know, don't look it up.
You don't find out through the whole. Oh no!
You find out halfway through season 2, which is why part of why Lynch and Frost kind of got left, why Lynch walked is because he didn't want it to ever be revealed. He wanted he would say that Laura Palmer is the golden goose that laid the golden egg. And that is like creates the mystery that draws people in.
Yeah, because the studio or the network, wanted different stories from these characters. Whereas I see Lynch's point.
I think he felt that it killed the mystery, and the mystery is what was drawing people in, basically.
But I mean, it's so strange because the first series was this series that is being shown on the 13th. It was the biggest show at the time. It was, it's a cult thing.
It's a real pop culture sensation.
And there was merch and everything even back then. And then the second season, it got cancelled, which is, this happened.
I think viewing figures went down, and
it's a shame. But what we've got is amazing. And is it 8 episodes the first series?
Yes,
the pilot, which is longer.
Yes, that sounds right. And it does. You definitely could watch it as an extended film. So I think it's going to work really well. Yeah,
and there's going to be a break after the pilot and a break every 2 episodes.
Oh, cool!
So you can get some coffee and donuts, and in my case, beer, and enjoy it. Which I'm really looking forward to. Adam, thank you very much for coming back.
Andy.
So we'll catch you soon. Okay, that was great. I did say at the beginning, I'm just going to quickly talk about another movie that's being shown at the cinema from Friday the 26th of September, Caught Stealing. Now, this is the latest from Darren Aronofsky, who is known more for his darker movies. A few years ago, I think his last film was The Whale, which was a drama. Brendan Fraser very quickly became a really cool film, I thought. He also done The Wrester, Black Swan, Requiem of a Dream, and Mother as well, very controversial film. But this time it's a bit different. It's more of a crime thriller, still got dark elements, but a bit of a comedy as well. It reminded me of it's set in the 90s and kind of a bit like a Tarantino movie in a way. Maybe that's because of the crime element. But I really enjoyed it. It's kind of punk rock as well. I don't want to give much away about the plot. Just basically want to big it up because I didn't know he directed it. I didn't know anything about it, but just saw it and thought it was pretty cool. Aston Butler's in it, who I think is always good. Zoe Kravitz, also always good. And Matt Smith, who is one of those actors. He played Doctor Who. The episodes I saw of that, I thought he was really good. And I think he's an underrated actor. And he's got a supporting role in this, but really stands out and something that will be remembered from the movie. So if you get a chance, please see it at King Street. It's on Friday the 26th of September at 7:30, Saturday the 27th at 2:30 and at 7:30. And once again, there's a matinee on the 2nd of October at 2:30. Lots of other stuff showing this month. Usually James gives a rundown. He knows more about that sort of stuff than me. But check out the King Street Cinema website. Everything's on there, updated regularly. Also, don't forget to follow on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll be back next month for a proper longer episode. And just looking at the website, I have noticed that on Halloween there'll be a special screening of John Carpenter's classic Halloween. So I'll definitely be chatting about that because I think that's one of the greatest horror movies, if not one of the greatest movies of all time, in my humble opinion. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a short one this month, but we'll be back properly, as I say, in October.